Hello from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. I am Laura. This is Mitzi, the diaper wearing dog. Keeps you warm, doesn't it? It's only 34 degrees right now. It's like 8:30 in the morning. Have you had these Nutella biscuits? They're not great, but they're not super sweet either, I don't think. So I kind of like them. My daughter really likes them. You're going to stay here? You're going to go sit on the really warm heating pad. Why don't you go sit on the really warm heating pad? Mitzi also likes my coffee. She's a coffee drinker. Today is going to be short, a little chit chat, and an announcement of who got the interchangeable needles. I was surprised. We had about a dozen people who threw their hat in, or their name in the hat. Kim and Laura were the winners. So you can look for your priority mail small box. It used to be 3 days priority mail. It's not anymore. It's like up to 10 days. But I would imagine, I mailed it out yesterday, so I would imagine you might have it by Saturday. Certainly by next week sometime. So I hope you enjoy that. Kim, remember that your set doesn't have a case. So it's just in the box, and then I put some plastic bags in the box because I just didn't have a lot of extra energy to figure out how to wrap them, how to do them. So sorry about that. But you have an interchangeable set, and I hope you enjoy it. And remember, if you don't, just pass it along someday. And here is my Danish-inspired sweater on an interchangeable needle set. Now remember, there is a thing in there. You can put anything in the little hole in the interchangeable set to help like twist, tighten them. I was at a talk at the library yesterday, and these just kept getting loose, and I couldn't seem to get it to tighten enough. And I'm conscious about not trying to twist my needles as I knit with them, but who knows? So this is my inspired sweater. And it's quite a small set. But I'm making headway. I'd say I'm about halfway through the third ball of yarn. This is just an old Cloudborn. And then I'm just gonna wait until I split for the arms. And then when I do, because I'm trying to construct this in the style of the Danish sweater, it's a book, style. So I did the 3-stitch overlap here. And then I will split, and I will do flat, and then I will do flat. I'm gonna do one of the Danish sweater designs, textural designs on this part. And then you do a 3-needle bind off at the shoulders. And then you put in a little bit of a collar and cuff, but a lot of them that are the short sleeve ones, which is, so back in the day, hundreds of years ago, these wool layers of these short wool layers were often worn underneath your clothes or like to bed because it was still freezing cold, and you know, they didn't always have like their fires going all the time and whatnot. So you still wore a wool layer to bed. So that's why these thinner wool sweaters were made. And why they were made at such a tight gauge, because it really was for warmth. Mine is at about the right gauge, but it's definitely on the looser side of the gauges. But like I said, this is just an inspired thing because it turned out a lot of those textural stitches were not just knits or purls. They were twisted and this and that and whatever. And I need something easy. I am legally blind, which in and of itself can make the process longer for me. So like most of what I make, like this sweater that I made, okay, this is a crocheted flat body, 2 pieces. I connected them and then crocheted in the round for the sleeves, and then I knit the cuff there and here. But it was all just in my head. So I do the math, because I'm a math person. I do the math to get the kind of fit I want, and see, then I crocheted around here because I kind of find that easy. And I just didn't have the bandwidth to try to do a more shaped neckline and then do the ribbing. Here's a baby. I just love you. So then like this sweater also that I just started, some of you may recognize it and say, wait, didn't you already make that sweater? Yes, I did, but I gave it to my niece. She's a lovely young woman, and she moved away to the cold climates of Boston to go to MIT. And so I sent her, I think 4 or 5 sweaters in hopes that 1 or 2 of them would be something she'd throw on here and there. It's just a simple raglan, but I loved it so much. It was really hard to send it, but so this is the neck. It's quite wide, but I think it'll be good enough, wide enough that I'll be able to pick up and do a ribbed neckline. Oh yeah, I am recording. Okay, good. So there you go. It looks twisted sometimes. It looks twisted sometimes. It's not twisted. It's that I'm not, I don't know, it's not twisted. It's really not. It's just that like these needles maybe should have been longer. It's really not twisted. Oh my God. What if it is twisted? What if it is twisted? I swear to God. It seems twisted half the time, and then every time I go to check it, so here I am trying to go to check it, because I keep having to like flip this around. Because here's the deal. If I pull that out, oh my God, if I find out this is twisted right now, I'm gonna be so pissed. So pissed. Because I like restarted this a bunch of times to make sure it wasn't twisted. Okay. Why does it feel so twisted? Okay, here we go. It's in a circle. It's in a circle. It is not twisted. Is it not twisted? Is it twisted? Oh, stinkeroni. Stinkeroni. Is this twisted? Okay. Damn, I think it's twisted. Damn it. Well, here's the deal. I don't need 3 things actually on my needles at once to get it done. But what I'm finding is, like if you ever watch Rox Knits, she's a lady from Minneapolis. I used to live in Minneapolis. I'm from Minnesota. She works on a project for about 3 weeks, has to put it aside. Then she can work on another one with gusto for about 3 weeks. So she's kind of does that, but she accomplishes a fair amount. I think I accomplish a fair amount in the year. I'm just trying this year to do it with less frustration. I have gone over this time and time again to try to verify that it is not twisted. But damn it, I think it's twisted. I think it's so totally twisted. Yeah, this is totally twisted. Damn it. Damn it. The nice thing is that it is how is it twisted when I swear to God, it is just totally twisted. But the nice thing is this is Maritime Family Fibers. So it's $7 a skein. And it's a bit toothier, but it does really bloom quite soft, which I like. So I will be able to take it off these needles, undo it enough, and then not have to start completely by scratch again. So I use the really big ones. I use this one for contrast, blue, and then my orange is my starting of the row. I always do a starting, even though you've got a tail here, it just helps. Just really bugs me because I really am confused and I feel like this is not twisted, but now every time I'm looking at it and trying to go through it not twisted, it seems twisted. People. It's such a bummer. So anyway, I hope your knitting is going well this week. I hope that my winners enjoy their sets. I am still motivated and encouraged by the clean out that I did end of the year, beginning of the year, of my yarn stash and my yarn accessories. I'd bought a lot. I had bought a lot of accessories over the years that I thought would be the thing, kind of like in the blind world. You buy a lot of magnifiers and a lot of things, and they work for a minute, and then they just don't, and you just have to send them on. Send them on their way. And 2024 is I hope it's going to be a lot better of a year than last year was, personally, and just calmness emotionally. My son is going to take his driving test later this month, my 16-year-old, to get his license. And if he doesn't pass, he's like, I'm not going to take it again right away. Unless it's just like a simple thing that he thinks he can do. He's okay with that. He doesn't really feel comfortable with driving by himself because of where we live in the country. It's freeway to anywhere. And freeway into Tucson, he's driven me in Tucson a couple of times now. But it's not like he's just going to go driving willy-nilly in Tucson. Tucson is broken up by what we call the big roads. About every mile apart is a big road. So like Speedway, Broadway, 22nd, Camino Seco, Swan, El Vernon. It's these big roads that have usually 3 lanes, median 3 lanes through the city. Absorb that. So when I first moved to Tucson, back when I was 31, I didn't drive for the first couple of weeks because visually it was so confusing. I had to like get used to it. And then I also realized while I was doing my job and living there that my eyesight was way worse than they were picking up on. My retired dad started to drive me to some of my appointments. I was a salesperson, insurance broker. He'd just sit outside and wait for me. He was retired. And I've never been a great driver. I've always been like, I'll bring the car, you can drive from there kind of person. It's literally since I got my car at 17, would pick up somebody for school that would then drive from their house to pick up the next person. So I give him kudos that he's done even a little bit of driving in Tucson. I'm really proud of him for that. It takes a lot out of him, and that's fine. And he'll get there. You know, it's been 6 months. Here, they don't get their permits at 15. It's 15 and a half. So they only have about 6 months before they can take the test to begin with. And it can be very expensive in the insurance to add your person. I have friends that their insurance went up by $450 a month. But they added a vehicle and a 17-year-old driver. He waited until he was 17. And since my son isn't going to be working, luckily we're not adding a vehicle, but I've had to make some adjustments to keep those costs down. And that's the other thing that's really on the agenda for this year and next year is just tightening the belt, because he's got one more year of high school, and then I'm hoping that we've been talking about it, he's been looking into some different 2-year programs, but I've committed to helping him with that. So, you know, you have to make choices and you have to tighten your belt sometimes to do these things. What else? I don't know. That's just the rambles. It's supposed to be, the high for tomorrow in the daytime is 33. What? I live in Arizona. What the hell? Granted, I live at about 4,000 feet, but, what the hell? There's nothing on my fingers, my lovely. There's nothing there. No. So I wanted to announce the winners. I hope you are looking forward to getting your packages. And thank you for participating for everyone else. Thank you to my Patreon pals, Sandra and Irene, Nikita, all of you that have contributed over the years. And yes, the Patreon kind of comes and goes and it's not real active. I'm trying my best to stay on task. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that don't get talked about a lot, that do take up emotional bandwidth and just time. My stepdad did get through his pacemaker. He's doing well. He's back to driving. His color's vastly improved. He's feeling better. It's not as physically uncomfortable as he was expecting. And this is all secondhand through my mom. But hopefully this is really good for them. My dad is just very tired. He's got kidney cancer. And he's not golfing anymore. He's just, things have really slowed down quite a bit. We make it up there at least twice a month, me and my son, for an added bit of socializing. And he sees my stepdad every week for lunch and grocery shopping. They're friends. Mom is doing well with the snowbirds back in her park. She lives in a 55 plus park, so they're doing a little bit more activities. my son and I were doing the activities here for the snowbirds at the library, going to some of the talks. We're going to go to the last one next week on his birthday and then have lunch together. But, you know, life just keeps plugging along. And I hope it's going well for you. My daughter's in Lego Club. She's the only girl. I'm proud of her. And she's hanging in there and enjoying it. And not getting teased too much about it. So there's one little boy, but she's doing good. So look with your heart first, not your eyes. And we will talk again next week.